Everybody knows that by the time senior year of high school comes around, decisions start piling on. Teachers, guidance counselors, parents, grandparents, and friends start asking, what are you going to be? What colleges are you going to go to? What is going to be your major? Are you going to live on campus? On top of the overwhelming stress of keeping those report card grades high, seniors are making decisions that will forever determine what path they're going to take in life, which often leaves them tired and anxious. I was faced with these questions and the endless pressure to know who I was and who I wanted to be. I felt pressure to ensure my grades stayed high so that I would graduate top of my class. I became anxious, nervous, and even physically sick when thinking about whether or not I would get into the school that I wanted, Clemson University. My dad was a Clemson alum, a baseball player, an ACC champion. Being a legacy child meant that I had to get accepted. I had to follow in his footsteps and ensure that my family was proud and successful. My best friend Hunter was planning to go to Clemson. We were going to be roomies, so I had to get in. From the first thought about life after high school, I knew that Clemson was where I had to go. All of my IGP meetings were centered around the test scores needed, the language class requirements, the scholarships, the transcripts. As you can imagine, being an 18-year-old girl exposed to this new world of college admission, I was stunned. Yet I knew I had those things in check. So with my guidance counselor, Miss Berry, sitting in front of me in the stuffy office cubicle, I couldn't understand why she kept telling me to consider other schools, and visit other schools, and look into other schools. I was a shoo-in, right? Hunter got in. We were going to live together, right? College is a time of friendship and experience. It's not all about whether it's the right fit for me, right? I was excited and ecstatic after my tour of Clemson, and when I got my acceptance letter, I was overjoyed. I even had a party. Move-in day was positively overwhelming. Hundreds of cars moved through the line in front of the dorm building, with Tillman Hall and Death Valley framing the view. There were crowds of people waiting to help move us in while we were officially becoming Clemson Tigers. However, about 2 weeks into my first semester of college at Clemson, I found myself lost, confused, burdened, and lonely. I wasn't experiencing the things I thought I would be. I was going to class, doing assignments, going to the gym. It was an endless cycle of repetitive, monotonous activity that I was completing all on my own since Hunter had stopped talking to me. My dorm became a place where I was nameless. Hunter and her new friends would come in, turn their backs to me, and have conversation as if I wasn't sitting there. Very quickly, I learned that the experiences I was looking forward to made me uncomfortable and scared. I did not want to participate. Parties for me became a fork in the road. I could go to them and be uncomfortable, or I could stay home by myself and be lonely. Hunter could not understand why I did not want to go out, that alcohols and parties made me nervous, that I missed my home and my family more than I could bear. I thought the homesickness would go away, that doors would start opening. Instead, it felt like doors kept slamming in my face. After those first 2 weeks, I was on the phone with my mother while walking through the campus quad to my 8 a.m. class, telling her that people hated me, my best friend was no longer speaking to me, no one in my dorm building would talk to me, I was completely isolated. I told her, "You're all I have left." And I remember she told me in the quiet voice that she always seems to have in those moments, "Well, if all you've got left is you and me, then you have enough. The world is not always going to welcome you, and I'm proud that you've stayed true to yourself, but you do not have to stay stuck in your first choice." I realized in that moment that decisions do not define who I am. One mistake or wrong choice did not mean that I must remain stuck. So I began my journey into the process of transferring to USC Upstate. I took a different approach to choosing college this go around. I researched what schools would accept transfers mid-year, what schools had programs for my major, and it had to be close enough to home so I could live with my family. My sister was a current nursing student at Upstate, so I began looking into it first. Upstate met all of my conditions. It was smaller, diverse, and inviting. The admissions office was so helpful in ensuring that everything transferred smoothly, so my decision was made somewhat for me. My mom was the biggest help within the process. She became my best friend. And while I was at school, she would call Upstate offices, financial aid, scholarship organizations. She helped me find my way back into home and a place where I could feel accepted and welcomed. USC Upstate provided a safe haven, a place where I could be myself, learn efficiently, grow professionally, and experience college environments centered around ensuring my success. My first classes at Upstate were significantly smaller, about 25 students, which were more suited to my philosophy of education. Also, the professors are way more personal, they know my name, and I'm not just a number in a sea of faces. Most importantly, Clemson was not a mistake. It taught me who I was and who were the most important people that I needed in my life. My family is my rock. They know me better than I know myself. Being able to live at home and go to Upstate has been the best decision I have made thus far because it allowed me to experience things I wouldn't have been able to at Clemson, like my trip at Pennsylvania. Being at Upstate has given me a platform, a voice, and a purpose for learning that reaches more than just a title and a degree. And at the end of the story, it's not the school and the degree that matters, but the memories and experiences that remain in our hearts. Upstate's emphasis on making college a personal experience has forever solidified the decision that led me home.